All right, here we go. Americans with Disabilities Act and Multifamily Communities. We'll be discussing the 2004 Americans with Disabilities Act Architectural Guidelines, Chapter 4 through 10. Previously, we looked at Chapter 2, Scoping Requirements, and Chapter 3, Building Blocks. 2004 Architectural Guidelines, Chapters 4 through 10, Technical Specifications, will refer back to these two chapters for clarification. Let's get started with the 2004 Architectural Guidelines, Chapter 4, Accessible Route, Technical Specifications. An accessible route will consist of one or more of the following components: walking surface with a running slope not steeper than 1 in 20, doorways, ramps, curb ramps, elevators, and platform lifts. The ground and floor surface must be firm, stable, and slip resistant. The running slope cannot exceed 1 in 20 or 5%. Cross slope cannot exceed 1 in 48 or 2%. Vertical changes in level cannot exceed 1/4 inch. Level changes between 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch must be sloped at no greater than 1 in 2. Any change in level over 1/2 inch must be ramped. The minimum clear width of a walking surface is 36 inches. The clear width shall be permitted to be reduced to 32 inches minimum for a length of 24 inches maximum, provided that reduced width segments are separated by segments that are 48-inch long minimum and 36-inch wide minimum. Where an accessible route makes a 180-degree turn around an element which is less than 48 inches wide, clear width approaching shall be 42 inches. Clear width exiting shall be 42 inches. If the turn is 60 inches wide, then 36 inches minimum entering, 36 minimum exiting. An accessible route with a clear width less than 60 inches shall provide a passing space every 200 feet. The passing space shall be either a 60-inch by 60-inch area or the intersection of two walking surfaces, providing a T-shaped turn with 48-inch minimum arms. Handrails are not required on walking surfaces less than 1 in 20. However, if they are provided, they must comply with Section 505. Each door, doorway, or gate intended for passage on an accessible route shall provide a minimum 32 inches clear width. That width is measured from the face of the door to the doorstop when the door is opened to 90 degrees. Revolving doors, gates, and turnstiles shall not be part of an accessible route. Double leaf doors, at least one leaf, must comply with 32 inches clear minimum. There are 6 ways to approach swinging doors: forward approach, push side; latch approach, push side; hinge approach, push side; forward approach, pull side; latch approach, pull side; and hinge approach, pull side. Each approach requires clear floor space for maneuvering clearances per the table. There are some additional requirements for maneuvering clearance at doors with either a closer and a latch. Doors that are recessed greater than 8 inches require forward approaches only, either push or pull side. Doors recessed greater than 24 inches require a clear width of 36 inches. Changes in level within maneuvering clearances is not permitted. A threshold is permitted to be a maximum 1/2 inch high. The clear floor space between two hinged or pivoted doors in a series shall be 48 inches minimum, plus the width of doors or gates swinging into the space. Door hardware must be mounted between 34 inches and 48 inches above finished floor. The hardware must be operable with one hand without grasping, pinching, or twisting. Door and gate closers shall be adjusted so that from an open position of 90 degrees, the time required to move the door to a position of 12 degrees from the latch is 5 seconds minimum. Spring hinges from an open position of 70 degrees to latched in 1.5 seconds minimum. The force required for pushing or pulling open a door or gate, other than fire doors, shall be 5 pounds, including sliding doors. Vision lights and side light glazing must be a maximum 43 inches above finished floor. Automatic and power-assisted doors shall provide a minimum clear opening of 32 inches in the power on or power off mode. That includes all leaves in a door system in the open position. Automatic doors and gates require the same clear floor space for maneuvering clearance. Manually operated controls shall have a 30-inch by 48-inch clear floor space adjacent to the control. The clear floor space must be outside the arc of the door swing, and it must be located in one or more of the reach ranges. Ramps on an accessible route shall have a slope no greater than 1 in 12, or 8.33%. Cross slope cannot exceed 1 in 48, or 2%. Floor and ground surface must be firm, stable, and slip resistant. The clear width of the ramp run shall be 36 inches. The maximum rise of any ramp run shall be 30 inches. There must be a landing at the top and the bottom of each ramp run. Landings must be at least as wide as a ramp and 60 inches long. The landing cannot slope more than 2% in any direction. Ramps that change direction between runs at landings shall have a clear landing 60 inches by 60 inches minimum. Where doorways are located adjacent to a ramp landing, maneuvering clearances required shall be permitted to overlap the required landing area. Ramp runs with a rise greater than 6 inches shall have handrails on both sides. Edge protection is required on each side of a ramp run and each side of a ramp landing. Edge protection can be extended floor or ground surface, where the floor or ground surface extends a minimum 12 inches beyond the inside face of a handrail. It can be a curb or barrier that prevents the passage of a 4-inch diameter sphere where any portion of the sphere is within 4 inches of the finished floor or ground surface. Curb ramps shall be provided anywhere an accessible route crosses a curb. The slope of the curb ramp cannot exceed 1 in 12 or 8.33%. The flared sides of a curb ramp shall not exceed 1 in 10 or 10%. The adjacent slope of the gutter or road surface shall not exceed 1 in 20 or 5%. Curb ramps shall be a minimum of 36 inches wide. The landing at the top of the curb ramp shall be 36 inches by 36 inch minimum. The cross slope of the ramp and landing cannot exceed 2% or 1 in 48. In alterations where there is no landing at the top of curb ramps, the flared sides shall not be steeper than 1 in 12. Curb ramps and flared sides of curb ramps shall be located so they do not project into vehicular traffic lanes, parking spaces, or parking access aisles. Curb ramps at marked crossings shall be wholly contained within the markings excluding any flared sides. Elevators, limited use elevators, private resident elevators, and platform lifts are covered in sections 407 through 410 and will not be covered here. In the next video, we will be taking up Chapter 5, General Site and Building Elements, from the 2004 Americans with Disability Act Architectural Guidelines. Please join me for the next video, ADA for multifamily.